let's just open it up like this. I used to hurt myself on purpose a lot, and now I don't anymore. Period. End of story. Okay, bye. See you later. All right. Since that's obviously not a very satisfying story, let's get deep. You ready? This is going to get real uncomfortable real fast. So I started to hurt myself when I was 13. Actually, no, I was 12 now that I think about it, because it was right before my 13th birthday. Okay, a little background on me. I got two parents, obviously, because literally everyone has two parents, but mine are still together. I have two younger brothers. I live in this super adorable little brick house with a golden retriever, and everything is super 90s sitcom, and it's simultaneously heartwarming and gag reflex triggering. I got a billion straight A's. I played softball. I was obnoxiously good at the viola. I know, right? The viola. So cool. And everyone was always like, oh, Sam, you're so perfect at everything. And I was like, haha, stop it. Because you got to be modest, right? But I was also kind of like, wow, I am kind of good at a lot of things, aren't I? But okay. So I was in the 7th grade, and I remember we were learning about subtracting negative numbers, right? So I was listening in class, and I was like, oh, this is interesting or whatever. So I did my homework paper and turned it in. No sweat, right? The next day, I got it back, and it was like, I literally have never seen so much red pen in my entire life. Like, Mrs. Young had sliced that thing up like a hyperactive ninja. Like, at the top of the paper, she wrote 10%. That's how many problems I had gotten right. And like, one part of my brain was like, okay, Sam, chill. It's literally one math paper. But then this other part of my brain suddenly made me start like sweating really hard. So when class was over, I went over to Mrs. Young, like drenched, and I was like, so what is going on here? And she was like, oh, Sam, you got 90% of the problems wrong. And I was like, yeah, I can see that. And she was like, okay, Sam, let me help you. So for like 20 minutes, Mrs. Young was trying to teach me about subtracting negative numbers. And like, I was trying so hard to listen, but it's like all of a sudden my brain started spinning like a top. It's really hard to describe, but it's like all I could think were giant question marks. Like, am I actually smart? Am I actually good at things? And Mrs. Young kept asking me to try new problems. And like, I literally could not do it. I mean, I kept trying, but I kept getting it wrong. She kept saying, okay, Sam, let me help you. So for like, I just could not do it. I just doing it over again was really, really not helping. So finally I was just like, okay, bye. And I literally left. And I don't know, I could not breathe. And I felt so stupid. I mean, because it was stupid, right? I mean, it was just a math paper, one math paper. But it's like, I suddenly had no idea who I was. And then it was, I couldn't see, and I didn't know where I was. And then I tripped. And it was like, oh, yay. So I just failed at school, and now I just failed at walking. And I got this super disgusting carpet burn on my knee, and it hurt a lot. Because suddenly, everything came into focus, and it was like, all I could feel was that carpet burn and the pain. But I don't know, that pain was me. And I had moments like that before when I'd mess up in a recital or play horribly in a softball game, but I had always just like suffered through it, you know? I mean, suffer doesn't really feel like a big enough word. It honestly felt like I was dying. And when I could focus on the pain that was in my skin and not in my head and in my heart, it was like, ugh. And yeah, don't forget relief like that. I did it for a long time. A long time. First every month, then every 2 weeks, every week, day, night, twice a day, compulsive. I hated it. I loved it. It made me want to die, but it also made me kind of want to like live. And then my mom found out, and she was devastated. I mean, we were both so ashamed. And then she put me in therapy. And like, I figured out better ways to cope. And I don't ever want to go back there. Like, I never, ever want to go back to that place. And like, I think I care about myself now too much to ever do it again, you know? And I can recognize that that part of my life where I was actively hurting myself is only like 10% of my life. It just feels like so much more, I guess. And I'm like 90% sure that I will never do it again. But it's that 10% that scares me because 10% is small, but it's not nothing. But I don't know. I think maybe someday I can use that 10% for something good, you know? I mean, someday in the very distant future. Because right now I really, really hate that 10%. But I think I'm just going to be okay with hating it for a while.